Good evening, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Banda Barbers Podcast. I'm your host, DeVaughn Evans, and thank you guys for tuning in with us today. So, yesterday we talked about the four levels of value that you can provide to the marketplace in as a barber, right? Four levels of value. So, that's what we discussed yesterday. So, today we're actually going to talk about kind of sort of the same thing, but we're going to talk more today about vertical integration in the barbering world. Okay. So, vertical integration as far as barbers are concerned and how you can add, grow, and build more revenue. We know, like we talked about yesterday, we know that it's frustrating. It can be very frustrating for barbers as a whole. It can be very frustrating for barbers as a whole to when it comes to making money, right? You feel like you hit a cap, you don't know really what to do. And so today I'm going to give you kind of a blueprint as far as how a barber can do what is called vertical integration. So now if you're not familiar with vertical integration, and this is kind of coined as my terms, but basically you generally own everything from the ground up. Everything that has to do with that business, you pretty much own it. All right. So, for example, back in the day, there was like steel, right? So when you owned the steel mills, so these companies that use steel, and the name is escaping me, but um, yes, Carnegie, right? So Carnegie has steel. So Carnegie used what was called vertical integration. So Carnegie not only had the steel, his steel mills, but he owned the places where they got the steel from. Okay, and so that was one of the things that he did was he owned where they received the steel from. Right, like that was a big deal. So vertical integration is pretty simple, and I think that you guys will understand what I'm talking about as far as vertical integration and things of that nature. So I'll break it down. I'll break it down for you. So down here we have our barber, right? So let's talk about our four levels. So we have our barber, then we have our barber shop, right? Then we have our barber school, and then we have our visionary. Okay, and we talked about how that you create wealth and you're really creating infinite wealth when you work and you're operating as a visionary. Now, as a barber, and let's show you how we can add some things. And you're seeing this nowadays. If you're really paying attention to what barbers are doing, you're seeing this as an addition. Um, so for the barbers, right, you have to keep in mind that a lot of times barbers just want to cut hair. They don't want to do anything else. That's all that they want to do. They just want to cut hair. And okay, cool, but you're really stopping yourself. And so how can a barber also operate as a visionary? All right. So if a barber is here on this level, in our first tier, in our implementation phase, and he wants to add some things, let's say he's in a shop and he's just paying booth rent. He doesn't have, full ownership of the building or anything like that. He can do two things. He can do a few things. He can make money, right? He can make money by having a, if the shop will allow it, he can sell products, right? He can sell products. He can make videos, right? Educational videos, teaching different things to his subscribers. He can make money from with the videos, through social media. He could sell a course, right? A course based on his videos that he's making. He can, so I said products, videos, social media, courses. He can sell the products in the shop, or he can sell them online, right? Now, online is even better because online works 24/7, right? You're only in the shop for a certain period of time. And this is different income streams that a barber can produce while working on booth rent or in commission in someone else's shop, right? These are things that he can do. So he can sell products, right? Doesn't have to be. I mean, he can sell brushes. He can sell keychains. He can sell whatever it is that they want to sell, in the shop and or online. And the thing that you have to keep in mind as far as this vertical integration and how things work is, all right, I want to do things that pertain to my industry. Too many times, and I've been guilty of this myself, too many times people have jumped from one industry to the next because they see, oh, well, they making money over there, so I'm gonna go over here because there's money to be made. And they're doing this. And what happens is when you jump from industry to industry or thing to thing, you lose the opportunity to get good at what you're doing. And typically what happens is that if barbering is your number one thing and you go and decide to open up a t-shirt business, barbering is going to suffer. Even though barbering is the one thing that's actually really making you money, when you go and jump from one thing to the next and do those types of things, you're going to lose what may be your thing that's really making you some money. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. Absolutely have to keep that in mind. It's just, it is what it is, guys. So, like I said, as a barber, you can make products, videos, independent products, videos. You could do social media things based on your videos to sell a course, or you can even write a book or a regular book or an ebook. You could do all of these things as a barber, and that's why I said just being a barber is the lowest level of value that you can provide. If I'm selling products, I can now sell products to my customers. I can sell products to other. I can sell products to the barber shop or other barber shops that I'm working in. I can sell my products to a barber school, right? These products can go. They can benefit me here. They can benefit me as selling to a barbershop. They can benefit me. Um, they can benefit me as far as being sold to a school, or even further, they can be sold to just the average consumer, right? They can be sold to the consumer. And it doesn't necessarily have to be coming from my shop or from someone else's shop or to a barber school. And that online platform, you now open yourself up to the entire market and not just your customers in your shop. Not just your customers in your shop, right? You open yourself up to so much or so many different markets that you can now touch in just by having a product. Okay. Same thing with the videos. Same thing with the videos. The videos, the social media, and the courses, right? This all kind of ties in together. Videos can be good marketing for you, but you can also, if you document not only your journey, if you document what's going on, what's happening, different techniques that you're using and everything like that, you can turn that into a course, right? You can turn it into a course. And if you wanted to take your videos and document your journey and what's going on as far as you being a barber, you can turn that into an ebook or a book, which can be sold in the shop or online. That's what we can do, right? We can sell in the shop or online. Both of these, or all of these products can be sold in any of these places, right? Your courses online. And here's the benefit about it, right? In order to make money just being a barber, you have to cut hair. But if I sell products, I have to come up with the formula or work with somebody to come up with the formula one time, and then I can sell the products. Now, the manufacturer of the products has to make the products, right? But I only had to come up with the formula one time, and now I focus on my marketing to get all of this stuff out. Okay. And let's say you want to really follow and talk about your journey. Let's say this is what you really want to do. You want to really talk about your journey, what you've gone through, what's going on, and everything like that. Let's say that's what you want to do. Okay, that's fine. No issues with that. No issues with that at all. Now you can take your journey, put it into a book or an ebook. You write it down one time, and you sell it forever. One time, you sell it forever. Okay, but notice how when you start to think different, when you start to have a vision and operate in a visionary mindset, you can take things that you may be doing behind your chair just as a barber, and you can grow these things and you can sell them in so many different places, platforms, and you don't necessarily have to be there. Yes, does it take some work on the front end? Yes, it takes work to understand how to structure deals. If let's say you put it in a barbershop, and let's say you put it in a barbershop on commission or some sort of consignment type deal, then you have to have a system in place to be able to track what they're doing. But if you wanted to say, and this is one of the things that you have to think about and remember, right? You have to think about how businesses should operate. Now, me putting products in a barbershop on commission, it adds more work to me. But if I sell this to them because they believe in it, if I sell this to this barbershop, then they can tack on whatever percentages it is that they want to, and you don't have to worry because you got your money because you sold it wholesale to them, right? So you got your money because they're buying in bulk. You got your money. Now they're going to make money off of the product, and the product comes from you and whatever you decide it is that you want to sell. Right? Products can be anything, like I said, from keychains to, shoot, you could even make neck strips. You could make neck strips. You could do combs. You could do wave grease or retwist gel, or the opportunity and the ideas are endless when it comes to your products, right? The opportunity and ideas are endless when it comes to your ebooks, because you could do a how-to guide, right? You could do a how-to guide on how you do things, or you could talk about your journey and the experiences that you had. You can also do that, right? So that's another thing that you can do. And on top of, like, guys, you have to look at this different. I'm going to say this, and some people may not like this, but I believe this. Don't charge your clients $100 for a haircut and don't sell any products. Don't charge your clients $100 for a haircut, for you guys out there, and you don't sell any products. You have nothing else to offer them. All I have to offer you is my exchange of time for money. That's the only thing I have to offer you. It's the only thing I have to give you. So you're going to pay me top dollar because I deserve it. Hmm. Okay. I deserve a lot of things. It doesn't mean that people are willing to give them to me. But if you're not selling any products, and I say this products as it relates to hair, as it relates to hair, skin, the health and beauty industry, if you're not selling products, why does it make sense to charge $100? And that's a discussion that I'm really willing to have because what people aren't thinking about is if I am a barber and I have products, so let's look at places like hair cuttery and sports clips and everything like that. If they charge you $40 for a haircut service and then get you to buy, I don't know, $70 worth of products, right? And you're getting, let's say you're getting okay, let's say you're getting a 50% split on the products, 50% commission on the products that you're selling. Again, if they're charging you $40 for this service, and say like sports clips, and they talk you into buying $70 worth of products, right? They talk you into $70 worth of products. You're getting a 50% split off you got a 50% markup on the products. You're gonna make $75. And see, the issue with the $100 haircuts for me is I understand the level of skill, the level of technical things, and things of that nature. But most of those people that are charging $100 plus or more for a haircut, and I heard somebody say this earlier this week. They said, they may charge you $100 just because of what their rent is for the building that they're in. They may not really have $100 service, but their rent is so high for the building that they're in, they're going to have to charge you $100 to cover the overhead costs. Come on, talk to me, people. Let's talk business. Let's do business now. Nobody ever thought about that. Nobody ever thought that, oh, they charging $100 because it costs so much to be in their building. Hmm. Okay. So again, at our lowest, at our base level from the barber, we got products, videos, social media, courses, ebooks, books, online, online and in-store sales, and we're also selling to other entities, right? Barbershops, barber schools, everything like that. That's a barber. That's a barber who is acting as a visionary. Okay, that's what that is. That's a barber who is acting as a visionary. All right. Now, let's move on to the next our next phase, a barber shop. Right now, I've gotten smart. I've worked it up. Now I got a barber shop. Now I've got multiple people working under me or working in a shop for me. Right, and you can say what you want to say. Booth rent, like I said yesterday, booth rent and commission are the same thing. Typically, booth rent's numbers are lower as far as the amount of the percentage that you pay, but it's the exact same thing. You just have a steady percentage. It doesn't change like most commission shops do. All right. It's all commission. Because at the end of the day, if you're paying X amount of dollars to work here a week, and if you're paying X amount of dollars to work here a week to make $1,000, um, X minus the 1,000 is the percentage that you're paying to make $1,000 a week. It's commission. It's commission. There's no one can tell me any different. it is commission. And actually, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think, me personally, booth rent is actually a worse deal. Hear me out. Because if you're starting out and you want to jump right into a booth rent shop and you don't understand how the business works, how they market, how they do anything like that, you do realize that you're paying less to be responsible for more. You are paying less money to be responsible for more. And typically you're going to have to spend the same or more money. You're going to have to spend the same or more money to achieve what the commission shop may do for you. Here is why. Because the commission shop has a system in place. You have to build one. The commission shop has a system in place. You have to build one. If you come in on commission to a commission shop, right? And yes, you're on a schedule, you're doing all of these sorts of things, everything like that. If you come into a commission shop, the commission shop is saying, I'm willing to pay you this much an hour. So if I'm going to pay you that much an hour, I'm going to ensure, the shop owner is going to ensure that you've got the right people, you got enough people in your shop to they're going to ensure that there's enough people sitting in your chair to pay you the amount of money that you are being paid. They take all the responsibility. They take most of the responsibility. The only thing that you are allowed to or required to do is provide the service, right? You may have to pay for your own tools, depending on the way that the commission shop is set up. But really, the only thing that you're going to have to do is provide the service. So you go into your commission, but you're down here. So I got a little distracted on that, but I wanted to talk about that because that's something that bothers me a lot that people say, right? And ooh, sorry. Listen. So we got to run through this real fast because I just realized that I have a limited amount of time on this what I'm using to record today. So I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll make more content about this, but it's going to be short today. All right. So in the barbershop, if you're the barber that owns the barbershop, you can sell products, videos in an online in the shop and online books, ebooks, courses, and products. All of those same sorts of things. But it also requires you to be a visionary, right? It requires you to be a visionary. All of these products sold throughout your barbershop can be sold to barber schools, everything like that. Now, like I said, barbershop, cool. You can make money. You can make a decent amount of money. But when you get to the barber school, that's when the game changes. Why? Because when you get to the barber school level and you're here, and this is the vertical integration, if you've done all of this sorts of things, right? You ask anybody who has been to or has been in a school of any type of any sort, the school usually uses a particular product line. So whether it's Redken, whether it's Paul Mitchell, they use a particular product line. Now, the person that you're talking to usually knows that product line very well. Why? Because that's the product that they learned on. Right, so they're going to go and get that product. So if I'm selling the teaching, or I have my students working with these products, they're going to stick with that product for a long time because they learned that product first. That's going to be their go-to product, typically, not all the time, but typically that's going to be their go-to product. Is whatever product that you are using in the school. And guess what? So if you teach them to use, and here's the thing, if you teach them to use Andis clippers first, they're typically going to be Andis people all of their career. Wall clippers first or a wall-based system. So wall-based system would be any of these new clippers that are coming out. Nobody's really fooling with creating new clippers based on the Andes system. They're all creating things based on the wall system. So if you use a wall base, they're typically going to use a wall base all of their career. So let's say in the barber school, right, you've got your products, right? You've got your books, you've got your courses, right? You might have advanced courses that students can come back and take. All of these things, right? So all of these things are going, people, and what did we talk about yesterday? So you making money off of this. You're making money off of the education or the tuition, right? You make money off the education, the services, right? You're making money off of all of those things, and if they're using your products, you're making money off the products and everything like that. If you really got it right, you might even be able to write your own curriculum. And what I mean by curriculum is not just using somebody else's book, but you write your own book. You write your own book, and you use all of these things here. And this is how, right? And what did we talk about yesterday? Remember now, yesterday we talked about a barber school actually being the students are actually paying to be interviewed by you, because if you got barber shops, they can go and work in these shops. Everybody doesn't have to go, but they're paying to be interviewed, and not everybody gets selected. You're providing a service for them which is fair, but at the end of the day, they are paying you to interview them to see if you are a fit for one of your businesses that you have. And all of this comes together by being able to have a vision, right? The vision of the barber school needs to be in place for the barber shops to work to create barbers. And then once the barbers are in my shops and therefore the barbers, it's an endless cycle. We want them to get to this point. We want them to get to the barber school point. But we got to move them from the barber school student to becoming a barber to a barbershop owner, and we're aiding them all along the way, right? So the integration goes up, right? For you, it goes from barber to barbershop to barber school, right? Along the way, you're selling products, videos online, courses, ebooks, books, all of those things. They're going all the way up. And in every place, every school, all of that stuff, we're doing and we're moving and we're selling those things, right? And then we get here, and then we can move bulk product in the school because we're teaching our students how to learn these products. So even if they don't fall back down into your cycle and start working in one of your barbershops, they go somewhere else, they're going to be very likely to know and want to use your product. So what are they going to do? Hey, Mr. Evans, do you think that you could send me some of your products so I can put it in my shop and sell it, because you taught me how to do retail, and I really like it, and I think my customers could use it. Boom. Vertical integration as a barber. 4 levels of barber broken down even more. All starts with a vision. The barber can have a vision. The barber can be a visionary even just as a barber. He can. He can be a visionary even as just a barber. Either way, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm your host, DeVaughn Evans. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Banda Barbers Podcast. Please like, comment, share, subscribe so we can grow the tribe. It's been real. Tonight is episode 49. 49 episodes. 50s tomorrow, guys. Please stay tuned. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night.